Hello, everybody. Wow, okay, my voice is woo-hoo-hoo. Anyways, I am your friendly neighborhood INFP, and welcome back to today's episode where we are going to be talking about the problem with 16 personalities, that is the site. So, anyone who, shall I say, has been introduced to MBTI has, at some point or the other, come across 16 personality sites, and that is quite often the site that many people first go to take their MBTI personality test. Now, the issue here is that their test is biased, and this is the issue where when most people who are further in the MBTI community, when they've gone past the surface level, when they've dived right into the deep end, when they've swam past the 16 personality site, eventually they're going to have a kind of reaction similar to
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
when new people come across 16 personalities. It is a shame because sometimes the descriptions that 16 personalities has on it is quite helpful for beginner level stuff. The only problem is that almost immediately people will be taking the test. And then you'll have people like Markiplier, you'll have people like Boy in a Band, you'll have a great many YouTube celebrities, so to speak, taking the test and being like, I got this type, but it's not entirely accurate because reasons, and it's super biased. Like, for example, I believe Mark got ENTP. I'm not entirely sure what Boy in the Band got. And then some other people got some other stuff that I can't remember. And the problem is that Mark several times specifically states he's an introvert. And because the personality he has brought forth online and has dealt with many fans, he has brought out more extroverted sides to him, but he's still an introvert. However, the 16 personality site would label someone as Markiplier as an extrovert because reasons, and then they would probably do it on a more intuitive bias type of thing. And it's just, the test is not the greatest, and yet that's the test that everybody knows that, oh, I took the MBTI test, and I'm like, well, what site did you take? And they're like, I took it from 16 personalities. And then you're just like, what? And it is a problem, to be sure, and it irritates quite a lot of people in the MBTI sphere. There's no issue behind that, or like, it's a very popular site. And because it is a super popular site, it brings about a lot of misconceptions. And the other problem is that it'll bring about people like Adam Ruins Everything. Will bring about people like Vox. It'll bring about people like anyone who wants to discredit MBTI. And speaking of Vox and Adam Ruins Everything, I've got another thing coming for them, sort of, in a later video. But going on with what I'm saying is that because of its popularity and because it has such a test, people will discredit it, as I was saying, and they'll be like, oh, well, I got INTJ this one time, and then this other time I got Ian whatever, and then this other time I got this other thing, so obviously MBTI is fake. Well, have you looked at any other site besides 16 personalities? No. Have you read any books? No. Have you looked into cognitive functions? No. Have you studied up on Carl Jung? No. And your basis for saying all MBTI is fake is predicated on what you got on 16 personalities. This is the reason people have an issue with 16 personalities. Yes, the descriptions are, for the most part, okay. There might be some issues. They could probably go further into some areas. hopefully bring in the cognitive functions in a more apparent way. I would say that you don't need to toss out the entire website as some people would want to do. I would just say it needs a overhaul. Specifically one that goes, okay, well, we can keep these descriptions, set up another one that goes a little bit more into the cognitive functions. As for the test, completely scrap the test, bring in the new one, a more accurate one, although online tests always must be taken with a grain of salt, and you must go and study it yourself or go to a practitioner, and even practitioners aren't perfect. So really it takes a good amount of study and talking with people to truly find your type. And if you read enough and you know yourself, like you have enough self-awareness, you're going to be able to tell your type. I remember due to my crazy passion over this, I was telling the youth that I lead about MBTI, and one of them was like, "Are you a psychic?" I'm like, "No, I just learned about personality types, and I'm able to tell how you act based off of that." And that's the thing. Like, MBTI in itself is not a flawed system the way that people would make it a flawed system. Is it perfect? No. Is any psychology perfect? No. Human beings are very, very complicated, granted. But is MBTI in the same realm as astrology or the Barnum effects or any of that kind of stuff? Also, no. It is a little bit more based on accurate testing, so to speak, especially if you're around at least somewhat professional people who are able to type you out. And I've been able to accurately type out some people online. I've been able to accurately type out some people in youth. And all in all, it's not a bad system. Of course it's not a bad system. I wouldn't be doing comic or everything I'm doing around it. The problem is 16 personalities, which is making people look down at it. And that, I believe, is one of the biggest gripes people have with the 16 personality site, especially if they are within the MBTI community. So, with that being said, the test needs to be changed into something. Cognitive functions needs to be added. Some descriptions need to change, but the entire thing doesn't need to be destroyed because it is a gateway for many people to get into MBTI. It just needs to be made a lot more accurate. And with that being said, that is it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!